Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the quarterfinal between Jannik and Grigor Dimitrov. What's up everybody joining in? We've got two of the flashiest players on the tour, two of the most informed players on the tour. They played in the Miami final and they will contest the quarterfinal here today. So I'm gonna get started off soon. We'll get started soon. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We've got a lot of tennis going on. We are in the quarterfinals. Goff and Jabeur played earlier today. Coco won in 3 sets. We did stream for that, so hopefully y'all check that out. And this is one of 2 quarterfinals happening today. The other is Tsitsipas versus Alcaraz. That is crazy because those are 2 of the biggest title contenders. Absolutely. So that's going to be crazy later today as well. That's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hello, Joe. Yeah, I am up early. I am up a bit earlier. Listen, I had to do Sinner Dimitrov. Biggest stream I've done for the channel was these 2 guys playing each other in Miami. But it's kind of crazy. That match was like 2 hours. I've done matches that are like 5 hours, but that one it's a lot of fun to do. And yeah, I mean, these are 2 fan favorites, and these are 2 players who I greatly enjoy to watch. It's gonna be good. 15 left for Dimitrov as we get started underway here. Obviously, they played in Beijing last year as well. Pretty recent match too, which went 3 sets. And that was the quite infamous post-puke Sinner match. But it's 3-1 for Sinner in the head-to-head. And he's won all 3 of the matches that they played 2023, 2024. They also played Miami last year, you might remember. And also in Rome in 2020, which Dimitrov won in 3 sets, which is, if anything, is a good sign for Sinner that he made it that close, even though he was a teenager at the time. Of the 2020, he was also playing fantastic tennis. So that's what I would say. But Dimitrov is playing very well. He's only lost 1 set so far in this tournament with an ace out wide. Serving as well as ever is Grigor. His first strike is so good, but listen, he's got a good game for the clay as well. And my prediction for this match, I've got Jannik in 3 sets. I think Jannik has a bit of a statement win, although I won't be surprised if it's something else. Pretty much anything else. But that's just what I'm going to go with. And the reason I won't be surprised if it's anything else is because of how high I am on Grigor. Because Grigor is very good, as you see in a 1-minute hold there to start off the match. It's not easy to do right from the get-go, be that solid. Joe, thanks for the membership. Gifted yourself. Thank you anyway for the generosity. Very generous, exactly. I was the only one in the chat. That's funny. Hello, Joseph, as well. This match should force Sinner to go up a level. Yes, it will, absolutely. I had a feeling that would give me the membership. I was the only one in the chat. Just hope you feel suitably grateful. I do. Calling it now. Rude versus Alex. Steph versus Sinner semis. Wow. Okay. Big calls. Alex over Zverev. And Steph over Alcaraz. Very big call there. All right, here we go. Sinner to serve. Backhand, forehand of Jannik. Backhand of Dimitrov. Forehand of Sinner. Backhand Dimitrov for a pass. Forehand Sinner volley. Dimitrov somehow there. Forehand drop volley. Grigor still gets there with a flick. Ooh. Fast from Dimitrov. Quick all over the court. I think Sinner can't believe it. I can't believe it. How did he get that first one? I don't know. Beautiful slide. Sinner didn't do enough with the volley, and then Dimitrov with the flick. I mean, come on. That's one of the best statement points I've seen in a long time. Say, hey, hey, listen, you're a young guy, 22, next gen. You're excited, trying to come up, trying to reach your first semifinal of Roland Garros. Well, I'm trying to reach my first semifinal of Roland Garros too. I've been next gen, is what Dimitrov is saying. I'm still fast. I'm still quick. I'm not 45 years old. Or not 60 years old. I can move around a court as well as you can. And Grigor is quick. Backhand in the net. 30-15. It's a lot closer than I first thought. Zverev but I wouldn't be surprised if Dimitrov wins. I mean, Dimitro's playing better on clay than I think a lot of people expected. Sinner in 5. I think Dimitrov in 4. Okay, I've got Sinner in 3. Let's see. I like Sinner more than Grigor. Interesting. Hey, what's up, Shiloh, as well? Hey, what's up, Zara? Good morning. I'm not generally a morning person, but I will try not to be grumpy because, well, just in general. And also, excited to be watching this one. But both guys trying to reach their first Roland Garros semifinal. Dimitrov has never done it. Dimitrov had never made a quarterfinal of Roland Garros. Jannik, if he makes the semis here, no, he wouldn't have reached the semis everywhere, but he's reached semis of Wimbledon, obviously won Australian Open. So he'd have made semifinals at 3 of the 4 majors if he can manage it here. He's only missing U.S. Open, which is kind of depressing if that would be the last one he'd reach, because it could have been his first semifinal. He was a point away against Alcaraz, but now it seems like maybe that could be the last semifinal he reaches. Definitely will, though. That's a fantastic drop shot. Alcaraz-esque, Federer-esque from Sinner. Federer-esque might be pushing it a little bit too far, but it was a great drop shot right in front of the net. Yeah, I want to be careful when I compare it to Federer, because it's got to be a really good shot if I mention Federer's name. It was a good drop shot, though. Game point for Sinner. Serve down the middle into the body. Forehand of Sinner. Inside out. It's going to be way too good. Sinner's at such a top level now, and clay might not be his best surface, but man, he can still play good on clay. Really good. A 1-minute hold for Dimitrov initially, and like a 3 or 4-minute hold for Jannik gets the job done. Hello, Ghost. Ghosty. What's up, Ghost? Vondrusa got absolutely shellacked. Ego looks unstoppable. Yeah. Was it ever in question, though, at RG? Iga is, yeah, she's unstoppable. Forehand down the line, backhand of Dimitrov, the backhand of Sinner, backhand of Grigor, the backhand of Sinner. Forehand of Grigor, that goes long. See if he can keep up momentum from the first game. Two Djokovic streams I've done where that's definitely I think the 2 longest streams I've ever done for the channel, where I've just been commentating without a break in a row, but those were both very fun to do in the last few days. So thanks for everybody who joined into those. And now we got quarterfinals. And listen, there's the quarterfinals are so good on both sides. In the quarterfinals, Mira Andreeva is the only player who's not a top 12 seed. Everybody is at the top of the sport who's made it this far. I mean, you have like Jasmine Paolini. She's like the lowest ranked player. Alex de Minaur, 11th, 12th. But I mean, these are 2 high level players. And Mira Andreeva is going to be top 12 soon. So quite literally only the top players have made it this far, which is awesome to see. Especially because it's so different from what we were kind of expecting going into the event. We were worried that it was going to be completely random in some ways, especially with Jari and Tabilo in Rome. And the WTA said we were a little bit less worried, but just never know. WTA Australian Open was pretty wild, to say the least. Forehand of Jannik inside out, backhand of Dimitrov down the line. Ooh, that ran. Backhand pass. Oh, Dimitrov misses the volley. It was a fantastic shot from Sinner, though. I mean, you got to expect that kind of a quality from your opponent if you're playing Jannik, though. Like, I don't know. There's something about There's something about playing a guy and you're not expecting the shot to be quite that good, and it catches you off guard, so you can't blame it all on the fact, like, you can't say that, oh, it's just a bad volley. Like, you have to also say good shot from center to kind of give Dimitrov that kind of a surprise at the net, because center found a really great angle from a very tough position. But Dimitrov has to be ready for it. He has to be ready for the fact that center will be able to pull off things that most players just literally can't do. Can't do. Backhand, forehand of Grigor. It's a break point. Forehand again to the backhand of center. That goes out. Crucial for Grigor to get that point. So we're at deuce here. 1-1. So revenge match for Grigor. And I mean, listen, it's not out of the what's the word? It's not impossible that that Grigor gets a win or gets a set at all. I mean, he can absolutely be a force in this match. I mean, Jannik on clay, I feel like this is a much more even playing field than Miami, where Dimitrov notably struggled for many years, and center notably it's his best event, maybe even. Backhand. That goes out from Grigor, so another break point coming for Jannik early. But clay courts is a much more even playing field. I feel like center isn't coming into this match with as much crazy momentum. I mean, center had lost Indian Wells semi to Alcaraz, but he had won like all of the other 30 matches he played that year. Right now, he doesn't feel quite as impenetrable. So let's see. But Jannik's doing all the right things. He's doing things he's done throughout his whole career, which is just kind of pacing himself. He did that against Mute as well. And just peaking when he needs to. Back and cross court, the backhand of Dimitrov, forehand of center. I mean, finding such good angles on the court. Backhand now down the line to the forehand of center. Bit loopy, forehand of center. The forehand of Grigor down the middle, forehand of center. The backhand slice of Grigor, it's in the net. And if center can attack Grigor's backhand like that and break it down, then I just don't know, man. I said center in 3, and I kind of feel like we might see it. But I do hope Grigor can take a set. I hope I'm wrong. What's up, Lexi? Morning, good morning. Center wins in straights for me. Yeah, that's what I said as well, Lexi. That's my pick. That was my pick before the tournament started. Before the tournament started, I said that it was going to be Alcaraz versus Tsitsipas. I said it was going to be Sinner versus Dimitrov. I said that it was going to be Djokovic versus Ruud. And the only pick that I got wrong was I said it was going to be Jan-Lennard Struff instead of Alex de Minaur, who wasn't supposed to be there either. So I've gotten 7 out of 8. Most of the picks not very ambitious, but I got 7 out of 8, which I was happy about. Before the tournament started, I said Alcaraz would beat Tsitsipas in 5 sets, Sinner would beat Dimitrov in 3 sets, and Ruud would beat Djokovic in 4 sets. Let's see. I kind of like how it's looking though for my draw. Let me know how you guys are doing if you filled out a draw before the tournament, or who you said was going to win. If you're feeling good about your predictions at this point, let me know. Backhand down the line, forehand of Dimitrov. That's in the net again. 15 love for Sinner. Feels like I don't know. It feels like Dimitrov in the last game and also starting off this game just a little bit sluggish, and he can't be sluggish against Sinner. He's never performed that great at Roland Garros for whatever reason, Grigor. Just for whatever reason. But Dimitrov now has at least a quarterfinal appearance at every single Slam and Masters tournament. Also at the ATP Finals. The only big tournament he's missing a quarterfinal is the Olympics. But every single annual big event, Dimitrov has a quarterfinal, which is amazing. Already got over 50 people watching, by the way, so I appreciate everybody who's joined in. Early stages in this one, with Sinner serving at 15 all. Forehand, backhand of Dimitrov, backhand volley Sinner, very good. Be very useful if Sinner has the kind of variety in his game to counteract Dimitrov. That's what he did in Miami a lot. He was able to do really well at the net and use the full court. And that's what you need against Grigor, who is just he's so versatile, has so much skill, so many tools to work with. Forehand of Dimitrov, forehand of Sinner, forehand of Grigor. That goes out. 40-15. By the way, in their match in Miami, just something I remember, Sinner missed 2 backhands throughout the entire match. He made 56 in the court, if I remember correctly, and he missed 2, which is insane. And a lot of those backhands were winners. It was a phenomenal match in Miami. Sinner does get the hold for 3-1 pretty quickly. In Miami, Sinner won 88% of first serve points, which was a big thing. Dimitrov, just like in Beijing, he was not doing well at all at saving his own break points. So that's going to be a big thing to watch throughout this match if he's able to save the break points he faces. He went 4 for 8 in Miami. That's just not going to be able to cut it. It's not going to be able to cut it. He already obviously is down to break Grigor. He's going to have to do way better at those big moments. That's a double fault from Dimitrov. He also just can't be double faulting. Just don't know if that's very deep analysis, but he'd rather not be double faulting. I only send straights because I don't think I can manage a 5-setter. Just a personal thing. That's crazy, Alexi. My prediction is 3 sets because if it goes 5 sets, I am done. All right, so if you're there have been a lot of 5-setters. How many 5-set matches have there been? Ah, that's a crazy pass from Sinner. This guy is scary, bro. This guy's scary, bro. Listen. I knew he had this potential, but the way he's just so quickly kind of found it, his peak level, really, or at least his peak level at the moment. But it feels like, I don't know. It feels like such a strong level that it's not that far off. Maybe his peak. We'll see. He still has a lot of ways to improve, though, which is scary as well. Dimitrov with the forehand winner inside out for 15-40. But I don't know, man. But I've been watching Jannik since Challengers, since 2020, 2021, watching this guy come up. And it's so crazy to me. So close to world number 1. He was a game and a point away from world number 1. It seems absolutely inevitable he's going to get it. Whether that's at this tournament or the next. But it does seem likely that it could be at this tournament. We'll see. But Djokovic could also get to the final. I mean, he's got Casper, and then he's got Zverev or Demonor. And then depends on how Jannik does. We'll see. But whether it's this tournament or the next, Jannik will be number 1. And listen, some people, on stream, I've said that I think Jannik is a future world number 1. I've been saying that to people just like friends and in DMs. And Like, I've been saying that all the time to, like, just different people. Like, I think Sinner is a future world number one. And I felt very confident about it. Just like I think Mira Andreeva is a future world number one. I feel very confident about that as well. There's some players that I just look at and I just kind of, I assess, and that some people I'm wrong. I think Arthur Feast is a future top 5 player. I could be wrong about that as well. But there's some players that I see and I form opinions about. And those are some. Forehand inside in, forehand of Sinner. Right on the baseline, backhand Sinner. I mean, how does he find that angle from the middle of the court? Forehand's a drop shot. Forehand Dimitrov, forehand to Sinner. Oh, he had the pass lined up. Dimitrov, 3 consecutive points, though. At least to get to 2-3. Love it. Love it. He waited too long, Jannik. He waited too long. It dropped too low. If he didn't hesitate and he went right away for the pass, he probably would have been up 4-1. He waited too long. Because he also was going for a difficult pass there, but he waited too long. Serve down the tee, back in return. Forehand of Dimitrov to forehand of Sinner. So loopy shot and it goes out. Love this from Grigor. Fighting well. This is the kind of fight that Dimitrov has to have if he wants to win this match. There's no doubt. I'm genuinely wrong in my predictions, but the opposite of whatever I say. Yeah. I mean, it's impossible to predict tennis. I'm not feeling good about my predictions. Zverev has looked shaky at times. I will say this, though. The fact that Zverev has but the fact that he's gotten through those 2 matches at Grand Slam level, Zverev and Rune, where he was very close to losing in both, I think is only a good sign for him moving forward. I mean, the guy's not going to be tired, I don't think, in the next match. So I don't think he's going to win the tournament, but I will say that I think that I don't know his next matches will be as close as he'll be as close to losing. It depends on his opponents, right? But I have him over de Minaur. I know it was close, but I know he's been shaky, but he can always find a better level, and I think getting through those matches will give him confidence. So, yeah. What's up, Nicholas? How's it going? How's it going? Bad bounce, by the way. So we're back to deuce. Or sorry, advantage for Jannik here. Score wrong. Advantage here for Jannik with break point number 4. First serve hits the tape and goes long. So second serve. Jannik trying to get a double break. If Dimitrov could escape this game, though, it could be big, but let's see if Jannik converts. Backhand's a bit loopy. Forehand's in the net. It's poor from Grigor. He's just not... What is it against Jannik and not doing well down break point? Yeah, I mean, Dimitrov just feels like it. I mean, it feels like Hurkacz has a mental block against against Dimitrov, in which he doesn't play the big points well. It feels like Dimitrov has the same thing against Sinner, where he just doesn't seem to play the big points well, huh? Sinner's jump this year has surprised me. Hardly makes mistakes now. Yeah, me too, Sean. And I'm like the guy who should be the least surprised because I've been saying Sinner. I've seen this future play out in my mind, but maybe in over a gradual period of time, over maybe in 3 years or 2 years. Yeah, the fact that it's already here and he did it so quickly, and the fact that he's playing this well is just spectacular. So I feel like Zverev is a good bet for the trophy. It's annoying, but it's true. Demon unlikely. Djokovic yelling rude behind the head-to-head. Sinner and Alcaraz will beat each other up. I've heard this argument before. Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, Zverev has such trouble finishing off matches in the biggest moments. He really does. Best of 5 has ailed him. He had his chance in Australia this year against Medvedev, and he was 2 points away in the tiebreaker, and he could do it. He could do it. He's won big titles. He's won the ATP Finals twice. He's won the Olympics. He could do it. But something just tells me, personally, I don't believe Zverev will win a Grand Slam. I don't think he'll win this French Open because he's gotten so close twice, at least twice. You could also mention other times, but at least twice. He's had it in his hands, right? And if you have it in your hands, and you're as good as Zverev is, right? You're as good a player as Zverev is, and you have it right in your hands, and you don't take it on two separate occasions at two different points in your career where you're on such good momentum, whether it's against Medvedev this year or against Dominic Thiem 4 years ago. If you have it right in your hands, you don't take it. I just don't know, man. Because even Tsitsipas, I mean, he was up 2-0 on Novak. It's Novak, man. I mean, Zverev's had chances. So those are my thoughts. I still think Alcaraz is going to be very tough. Because let's say Alcaraz gets through a Sinner Alcaraz tough 5-set match. Alcaraz isn't going to be tired. Like, Alcaraz will be right there for the Zverev match. He's a great matchup for Zverev. And if Sinner gets through, I could imagine Zverev getting through, but I just kind of just don't think it will happen. But we all have our different opinions. Those are my thoughts. I don't think it's going to happen. And I could be wrong, but I really don't think it will. Serve here coming from Jannik at 30 love, kind of fully in control at the moment. Backhand to the forehand of Jannik. That's a great shot from Jannik. Dude, Jannik's hitter's forehand is scary, man. It's unreal how good his forehand is. Hitting all over the court. The angles this guy can find just out of whim. The guy is so talented, it's a joke, man. Forehand, Jannik, I mean, again, it's so easy with him. Man, it's very Federer-esque. It's very easy, very aggressive, just always in control, just always moving forward in the court, able to improvise well. I mean, the guy's got a fully different build than Federer, clearly, and he's got a different game than Roger, but I mean, a lot of it is very Roger-esque in the way he doesn't grunt, he doesn't do any of it. He's very effortless and very easy, but always aggressive and just can find incredible shots just out of nowhere. It's very Fed-esque, honestly. I mean, Sinner and Alcaraz mixed together is like Roger, to me. And Alcaraz is very similar to Novak as well. And to Rafa, of course, especially mentally, like, from Spain. The fighting spirit he always shows on the court, among other things, his defense. Last 8 points, by the way, Jannik on an 8-point win streak. And Sinner has similarities to the other two as well. He's always reminded me of Novak, to be honest, Jannik. But I mean, people say Alcaraz is a mix of two players. I mean, Jannik is kind of a mix of Federer and Djokovic. So that's a pretty good mix of two players to be. Can't really put Rafa in the equation for Jannik, but yeah. Maybe with his defense now, but can't really, bit of a stretch. 30-15, Dimitrov at least trying to get a hold at the end here. Forehand of Jannik, forehand of Dimitrov, forehand of Sinner. Backhand Dimitrov, going backhand to backhand. That goes out. 40-15 for Grigor. Even if this set kind of flails away from Grigor, it would be nice to see a hold here for the second set. Coming into the second set for some momentum's sake. Forehand of Dimitrov, the backhand of Sinner. Oh, it's the tape, goes over. Grigor's there. Oh, he hits the net. He was too cute with it. Dimitrov's too cute with it. Right back on his side, hit the net right back on his side. That was ridiculous because Grigor was at the net, right? Or he was kind of in no man's land, kind of at the service line. But But he was at the service line. The ball hit the tape and went like an inch over the net. Then he had to go over it, and his shot hit the net. Very strange. Anyway, still got a game point. Serve out wide. That goes out. Good serving. 2-5. Hey, what's up, Cedric? Good to have everybody in here. Appreciate all the support over the last few days, guys, and today. Appreciate everybody joining in for the stream. Good to have you guys watching Quality Shot Tennis. And watching the Sinner match. We're 2 wins away from Sinner Alcaraz. The latest that they would have ever played at a slam. So far. I hope to see them in a Grand Slam final. But so here's the thing, right? First they played in the round of 16 at Wimbledon. Then they played at the quarterfinals of the US Open. If Sinner and Alcaraz both win their matches, then they will play semis of Roland Garros. And then by that same pattern, they will play in the final of the Australian Open. I'm just saying, I'm ahead of the curve, right? Ahead of the curve. I'm ahead of the curve. They're playing the Australian Open. Do you see the patterns? No, but it is kind of crazy. They're going up a stage every time. One more round further. It's very little to do with their... Well, I guess it has a lot to do with their rankings now at this point, but yeah. Anyway, I'd love to see in a final. I'd love to see a final at Wimbledon between the two. It'd be great. Forehand of Dimitrov. Forehand of Sinner. Backhand slice of Grigor. The backhand of slice of Dimitrov. That goes out. 15-love for Sinner. Amazing things that Sinner keeps improving. We haven't seen what he can be yet. Fair enough, S1. Yeah, I mean, he does keep improving. He's improved so much on the drop shot. He probably will keep improving, right? So, which is scary. It really is kind of terrifying. Honestly, I'd be scared if I was Alcaraz, and I'd be scared of Alcaraz if I was Jannik. I mean, people are going to keep flip-flopping on the two, but I think it's going to be much less than we see with the other young players. I think people realize, because it's kind of blatantly obvious in every possible way, that they're both special generational players, Sinner and Alcaraz. So even if Sinner struggles, I don't think it will be that crazy where people are like, oh, this guy's never going to win anything again. And hopefully not the same for Alcaraz, because it should be utterly clear for Alcaraz and also for Sinner that they're both, regardless, I mean, like, they're both going to be winning big titles for years if they stay healthy. It's a forehand in the net. So 40-love for Sinner, playing fantastic so far. Hasn't even been tested to his to have to play his best yet, but he still is playing fantastic. I mean, just so aggressive. I mean, it's not even really... Just feels like Dimitrov isn't even on the court, to me. And that's crazy. It's 40-love for Jannik. It just feels like Sinner's hit him off the court in this first set. 34 minutes played. Serve here from Sinner. Kick serve. Backhand of Dimitrov. It's a drop shot. Goes out. Grigor started walking to his chair. He's like, oh, first set's over. He's like, oh, no. Sinner hit a bad drop shot. All right, I'm still in this. God damn it. So Dimitrov's reacting. Oh, he missed the drop shot. Oh, I still have to try to fight in the set. Dimitrov almost wishing that he made it. Set point number 2. First serve goes wide. Second serve from Sinner. Backhand of Dimitrov. It's in the net. 6-2 for Jannik Sinner. He's 2 sets away from his first Roland Garros. This is a man who reached 3 consecutive fourth rounds at Roland Garros. 2020 to 2022. He's played well here. Quarterfinals at Roland Garros, his breakthrough. This is his first time in the quarterfinals since his breakthrough run at any tournament. Quarterfinals, arguably. quarterfinals of Roland Garros 2020. Lost to Rafa. I think he was like the only guy to push Rafa to a tiebreaker that whole tournament. Rafa didn't lose a set. Maybe one of two people. And he beats Zverev in that tournament as well as Zverev coming off that heartbreaker U.S. Open final because that 2020 was ridiculous and U.S. Open and Roland Garros were switched around. By the way, Sinner, 91% of his first serve points won. Unforced errors count, 8 for Sinner, 12 for Dimitrov. So those are some of the big stats. Last time they played Dimitrov brought his level, but Sinner's too much. Not the same now? Or has Dimitrov been flat? Dimitrov, it's a mix of both. Dimitrov's been flat, and also Sinner's been fantastic. Hey, what's up, Charging Tennis Clips? Good to have you in here. Hey, what's up, KC as well? Forza, Colin Sky getting some of that special carrot power. Yeah. They are dating now, Sinner not scared. Seeing special carrot powers. He said that Sinner doesn't even back up. It takes it very early. Plus, that's great technique. Yeah, he's always moving more and more forward in the court. So, when the draw was made, I thought Dimitrov might give Sinner a test. However, Dimitrov looked a bit emotionally drained during and post UB win. Not sure he really believes today. Too much scar tissue. Yeah, I think it is too much scar tissue, honestly. I think it's I think the mental baggage just wears Grigor down. And also, does Dimitrov have the belief in these kind of moments? It's a good question, honestly. I don't know. I honestly don't know. He's done better in these kind of moments recently, but I don't know. Maybe against a guy who's this solid, Jannik, I think maybe Dimitrov is a little bit more worried than even an Alcaraz type, for example. But he's beaten some top players, Dimitrov, over the last. I mean, that is ridiculous forehand from Sinner. It's outrageous. But well, how does Sinner do that? The guy just planted his feet in the middle of the court and just found him. I mean, come on, man. What was that shot? But okay, so but Dimitrov's being some top players, but yeah, I feel like against Jannik, maybe he just feels like I mean, come on. He was like, I was playing a guy who was throwing up into a trash can in Beijing, and I was playing amazing. I still couldn't beat the guy. So, I don't know. I don't know how much he believes, to be honest. That's a great slice from Sinner. Forehand down the line. That's a big shot as well. Jannik, if you feel it now, you feel that maybe Jannik is starting to play his best tennis. And I mean his best tennis. Let's see. I hope for that. He was playing absolutely sensational in the last few sets against Mute. Right off the baseline. 30. Very good from Dimitrov. Very good from Grigor. Backhand, the forehand of Dimitrov, forehand to Jannik. The forehand of Grigor, backhand Jannik. Backhand to Grigor, forehand to Jannik. Forehand of Dimitrov, forehand Sinner cross court. Going forehand to forehand. Big rally for Dimitrov here to step up. Drop shot. Sinner there, easy. Big forehand cross court. He didn't even want to take the chance down the line. He hit it right back to where Dimitrov was, but he hit it hard. And there's nothing Dimitrov's going to do with that pace. Dimitrov, I mean, listen, that's If you want to know if Dimitrov's confident, you saw it right there at the drop shot. I mean, I don't think it was a conscious like, oh, this will get me out of jail, or like I don't. I think, but subconsciously, I think the nerves are right there, and the lack of belief. And he was like, even though he was in the middle of a high level rally, just decided to go for a drop shot, even though he didn't need to. And yeah, first serve in the net from Dimitrov. Second serve coming. Forehand. That's crazy. Dimitrov didn't even run for it though. He should have went for it. I mean, he could have gotten it. But Dimitrov is just so not there right now. Dimitrov's come up flat, and Sinner's playing high level. Kind of wild. But this is very similar to Miami, to be fair. Similar to Miami, except I did feel like Dimitrov's playing better and not rushing as much as this. Because I mean, what is like 40 minutes already 1-0 for Sinner. Dimitrov a bit disappointing so far with his performance, not gonna lie. But if we're talking about two guys who have never made the Roland Garros quarterfinals before and are starting to play, some of the best tennis of their careers. I mean, it's Sinner who has the less mental baggage from Roland Garros and is now I mean, Sinner at this point, he doesn't know how he's going to be doing in these kind of moments. Dimitrov, he's already a little bit less confident than Sinner is. Dimitrov, Sinner feels like he can reach a lot more of these throughout his career. Dimitrov, he knows that he just hasn't been really able to do that. And so maybe the confidence isn't there. If he couldn't do it in round 16, why should he be able to do it in quarterfinals, Because that's the thing about tennis, right? I mean, we see the losses and when we look up stats and stuff, but it's kind of like these guys actually experience those losses, and that goes into their mental side. I mean, we see a guy like Nadal who's so good at Monte Carlo. We see a guy like Roger who's so good at Basel and Wimbledon. We see a guy like Djokovic who's so good at his tournaments, Rome and Australian Open, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, it just feels like they started doing well at those tournaments right from the get-go. They felt good at those tournaments. And the fact that they felt good at those tournaments and had good memories and results at those tournaments, it kind of snowballed. So I think that that's something people don't talk about enough. But that's a cool thing about tennis, that every tournament's a little bit different, and you have your tournament. And Dimitrov just hasn't really performed well here in the past. He's had a lot of losses here in stages before this one. So I just don't know if the confidence is there. Let's see. Will I be doing the Tsitsipas Carlos match? No, I will not. That will be phase on. That'll be phase on. Lurking, tennis just flying past me. Okay, fair enough. One-hander rears its ugly head again. One-hander problem. Yeah. Yeah, true. It could be two one-handers going out today to Sinner and Alcaraz, who will be posting as villains for the future of tennis, saying, no, it's two-handers. Well, I quite enjoy Sinner and Alcaraz, but I would love to see some one-handers in the mix as well. But I mean, Musetti played a great match against Novak. Let's be honest. Dimitrov has his best ever Roland Garros result. Tsitsipas is in good form. Just beat the number 4 seeds in doubles as well. So the one-hander's doing fine, regardless what happens today. The one-hander's in fine shape. It's a positive way of looking at it, but I'm also biased. So forehand cross court, that goes out 40-15. Also biased. So do you think Dimitrov will win a set? No. He does not want to see Sinner puke again. Well, maybe he does. Maybe he does. So at least I have a better chance of this match. I don't know. But yeah, I guess because Sinner will just then start going off on a rampage, huh? Yeah, if Sinner pukes again, he'll become the greatest player of all time. I'm sorry. I mean, puking once, he already became the greatest player in the world. If he pukes again, the guy's gonna start being. Sorry, the guy's gonna become Novak Djokovic and plus Novak Djokovic plus. It's in the net from Dimitrov, so 2-0 for Sinner. If he pukes again, it's over, guys. It's over. Pack it up. Just pack it up. It's done. Sinner at 2-0. The guy's playing so good, though. I mean, With this level, imagine the contest against Alcaraz potentially, or even against Tsitsipas if Tsitsipas does get through Alcaraz. Either way, that's going to be fantastic. And the Sinner is going to be motivated. Bro, can you imagine how motivated Sinner is going to be for revenge from that Monte Carlo loss? He's going to be so motivated to get him back. I mean, Sinner might just win like, or I don't know. I don't want to. Sinner will be so motivated for that one. We'll see how Steph shows up if that is the case. But I mean, Sinner will be looking to not even drop a set there. That's going to be his mindset. That goes out off the forehand from Dimitrov. This has completely gotten away from Grigor. This reminds me of many matches from Dimitrov, to be honest, unfortunately. But it also reminds me of last year against Zverev. Dimitrov, lots of unforced errors. He wasn't even going for a whole lot. And it was one of the most disappointing matches I watched last year, to be honest. And it's no hate to Grigor, but it just doesn't feel like he's really shown up here. That's a better forehand, though, from Grigor. It is tough playing Sinner playing this well, though, to be fair. But still a performance that I feel like doesn't match Dimitrov's quality, standard quality. Doesn't match Dimitrov's best level. First move down the tee is very good from Dimitrov. Goes out cross court from Sinner, so 40-30 for Dimitrov. In a way, Djokovic has already won RG by winning 5 back-to-back 5-set matches against young talent. Is it the story of the Open so far, right? Yeah, I think so, because to do that is just ridiculous. Also, 3 a.m. knee problems. Dimitrov with a big serve out wide. Sinner misses it. Let's go, Grigor. Fighting back. I do wish to see Grigor step it up at some major while he's playing this well. I really would love to see it. I think Wimbledon, I'm not going to rely on it. If Dimitrov goes out in the third round, I'm not necessarily even going to be disappointed because my expectations are at nothing. Like, I'm not going to expect anything. It's actually exactly what Djokovic said before coming into the French Open for his chances. Expectations are low, hopes are high. For Dimitrov's Wimbledon, I would love to see Dimitrov perform well at Wimbledon. If he loses third round, I'm just going to be like, all right. But I would love to see him perform at Wimbledon, because I will say, if he is ever going to win a Grand Slam title, if that ever would happen, I think this is his best chance ever. I'll just say that for Wimbledon. And I have a myriad of reasons for why. So I can list those off as well. But yeah, anyway. Dimitrov's playing his best tennis, so we'll see if he could ever do that. But at least you admit your bias, yeah. I try to. Steph versus Alcaraz. All right, yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens in that one. Should be good. I saw someone in the comment section claim that Rublev's meltdowns are tactical. Stupidest claim ever. It is. What? How can that possibly be tactical? I mean, I get it. Whatever. It's just the internet and people being silly. They just say anything. I mean, it's a lot of comments, people saying people are attention seeking, and that's fine. It's just the internet. So, but I do hope Rublev gets some help because those reactions are not normal. It was like a 3-minute compilation of his last match. I just feel bad for the guy. But also, it's not a great fan experience, honestly, either, watching him do that. So hopefully he can not do that anymore. Backhand slice the backhand to center forehand of Dimitrov. I missed it, man. His court was wide open. He missed it down the line. I mean, if Dimitrov misses that, I just feel like that's the story of the match, kind of. Oh, it's called good by the umpire. So it's called good. Backhand slice of Grigor to the backhand of center. Backhand slice of Dimitrov. Backhand center. Listen, when Dimitrov is slicing this much, this is when you know he's kind of nervous or not playing at his best. Just hit it over your backhand, Dimitrov. I really just kind of don't understand that. It's hard for I understand how much, and maybe it's not a mental thing, but I understand how much a mental thing can play into tennis, right? But it's so odd to me how clear of a sign it is that Dimitrov is feeling nervous and like he can't play his best tennis when he starts slicing over the backhand that much. Like it appears to me that he's much better when he's hitting over the backhand, so he's might as well just like at least try for it, even if he's a little bit, nervous with it. He could at least try to do it. It is tough with center's pace to even have time to pull back on the one-hander and really have time to hit over it or find any kind of pace with it, but it would seem odd to me that he's this much on defense and at neutral so often. It's hard to attack with a slice backhand. I mean, it just feels weird he's slicing over it this much. Center about to be halfway to the victory, by the way, unless Dimitrov can pull something off, which center is very much in control at the moment. Another serve coming here from Jannik. It's a serve. Forehand of Dimitrov back in it. Center that's in the net. 40-30. The only I saw coming into this year was if Sinner could win 7 matches if he had to play in the Searing Heat. That didn't materialize in AO or Archie going forward. As world number 1, he'll get protected. Yeah. Maybe. Sinner's calendar year Grand Slam is still on. It's kind of weird to talk about it during Roland Garros, but I love thinking about a player winning the Grand Slam. There's nothing else I've been more eking for in tennis since I started watching. I've been obsessed with the idea of a player winning 4 in the same year since I started watching. It would be incredible. He could also win the Golden Slam. Both are unlikely, but they're also not impossible at all. Especially for a guy like Sinner who's only just started really finding his best form. Like, wow, that is a great backhand from Dimitrov. Finally hits over it. And he built out that point very well. Hitting over his backhand as well, and he found a winner inside out. Awesome shot. But yeah, it was actually a slice initially that kind of set that up as well. So, and it was a good one as well. But then he hit over his backhand to the center backhand, and then he hit a winner. That's a chance for Dimitrov to really find some footing in this match. I hope he does, because I want to see a contest here. It's centered with an ace though, out wide. Center with an ace. Serve that. I mean, come on, two aces. What did I say? Okay, so I said chance for Dimitrov to find some footing in the match, and then Sinner was like, "No, I'm just gonna hit 2 aces out wide in 40 seconds, 30 seconds, half a minute. I'm just gonna hit 2 aces out wide." 3-1 for Sinner is just absolutely relentless. The serve has gone so much better. I've always thought guys like Rublev, Kyrgios, Runa, and others could have used mentorship from tennis forefathers like McEnroe, but the culture has changed. I don't think McEnroe would be. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be negative about Johnny Mac, but I just there are maybe other mentors who I feel like maybe could be even better than Johnny Mac. But I guess I understand what you're saying because Mac was so explosive back in the day as well. But look at a guy like Roger, right? I mean, Roger was explosive as a junior, and then he kind of figured it out. Maybe he'd be good to talk to mentor those guys. And I think he did a little bit with guys like Kyrgios and Zverev at Labor Cup and at other points. I mean, I know Roger and Kyrgios occasionally talk to each other and stuff, and played with each other. Backhand, Dimitrov comes to net with a half volley. That goes out. So 30-15. History is also on the line. No man, the open era has backed up their first major win by winning the next one that comes up. Medi came close 2022. Yeah, Matt, I remember seeing that stat in 2022, and that's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy that no one has. In fact, Matt, I got another stat for you that I'll can share in a second. Only twice in the open era. Only twice. Let me make sure I have this stat right before I say it. So I'm pretty sure this is the stat. Only twice in the open era has a man got into a major final, the Grand Slam right after they reached their first major final. That's only happened twice in the whole open era. Let me know if you think of the players who have done that. It's actually quite interesting. One of them should be obvious. One of them should be absolutely obvious to everybody in chat. But I don't know if you'll think about it. So the question is, who are the two men? One of them is obvious. Who are the two men in the open era who reached a Grand Slam final, the slam right after they reached their first major final? So they reached their first major final, Grand Slam that happened right after. If they had just played Roland Garros, Wimbledon's right after. The Grand Slam right after they reached their first major final, they reached another major final. It's only happened twice in the open era. Let me know if you think of the two players. One of them should be obvious, but it's obvious in a really weird way, right? It's not somebody you'd think of right away with that. Or I wouldn't. With all the scar tissue Dimitrov has, I wonder if he'd even beat a depleted Djokovic if they played tomorrow. Yeah, it would be tough, right? But I mean, Djokovic is still Djokovic, and I don't know. Not beating Djokovic is never really surprising to me, but I will say that, yeah, I mean, I understand the point you're making. Grigor has such a tough time against Djokovic. I remember that he beat him in Monte Carlo like many years ago, but it hasn't happened for a while. What's the point of this match? He's just clueless. I agree. Sinner's great on serve, but he just got broken thrice. So easily he could have at least taken us to a tiebreaker. Yeah, I mean, he got to the quarterfinals. He's doing his best, but it's a disappointing performance at this point. I mean, tennis is tough. It's a tough mental game. You win straight sets against Hurkacz, and then suddenly it's like this. I don't know. Yeah, you get into this kind of mental kind of rhythm, and sometimes it looks ugly out there, and then at other points you're really running with great momentum, and it's working out well. But we'll see. It's been disappointing from Dimitrov. I'm not going to cut corners, but you did hit a good drop shot there. It's left 15. Let's see if Sinner can keep Dimitrov away on his serve. Definitely disappointing. We'll see. We'll see if it changes though as the match goes on. Second serve here from Jannik. The backhand of Dimitrov's a slice. Forehand of Sinner. The forehand of Dimitrov. Kind of hanging very down the middle at the moment. Backhand to backhand. Dimitrov goes for a backhand down the line. Oh, it's in. I thought it was out. Great shot. Center gets it somehow because the guy's crazy fast. Backhand slice. Great shot. Center. Both guys putting 100% to this point. Forehand cross court. Forehand. Dimitrov goes out. Center wins a little battle inside of a war. A little battle inside of a war, you know? Sometimes you have those in a tennis match. Little battles, and it can help to win the war, the whole match, you know? $15-all. Backhand slice of Grigor. The forehand of Sinner. Backhand slice of Dimitrov. The backhand now of Sinner. Forehand of Dimitrov. That's on the baseline. Dimitrov's got to win this point. No, I missed the forehand, though. Or at least it's called out. Yeah, Sinner knows it's out. It is out. 30-15. Poor stuff from Dimitrov so far. I mean, I'm sorry, but poor. He's got to do better here. He's missing shots that he could be making. It shouldn't be this one-sided at this point. I mean, it's one thing in Miami where Sinner was just playing the most ridiculous tennis ever. He's playing crazy here, but Dimitrov could easily be even at this point, or at least be even in this set. The fact that he's down a set and a break, and that, I don't know, the scoreboard, it shouldn't necessarily be what it is right now. That's in the net from Dimitrov, 40-15. Reminds me a lot of Zverev last year. I'll say that. Rafa? No, it's not Rafa. It's not Rafa, Joe. So, okay, so the answer to the question that I posed, who are the only two men in the Open era to reach the Grand Slam final right after they reached their first Grand Slam final? So Sinner just reached his first Grand Slam final. He's trying to become the third man in the whole Open era to reach the final Grand Slam final right after he reached his first. The two men are Stan Smith. I didn't expect anybody to get that. That was in the early 70s. The other guy is a little known guy named Novak Djokovic. 2007 U.S. Open final against Roger Federer, and then he reached the final of the Australian Open 2008, and of course he won the major there. So listen, Djokovic was generational and doing unique things right from the get-go, not even just post-2011. There's a lot of stuff like that. He won the Australian Open, then he won the Masters title that happened right after that, Indian Wells. There are a few things like that that are kind of generational, don't happen very often. So when people say Djokovic only became the great, he became 2011, it's very much not true. He finally reached his potential, yes. He did it. I mean, he was already great before, and it was a steady rise up to there. Before, kind of like Jannik, just completely broke through the door. Very similar. Back and down line from center is fantastic. 4-2 for Jannik. Dimitrov clearly frustrated, given sarcastic thumbs up, I think, to his box. Sinner ruthless. An hour and 4 minutes. Sinner, have some respect for the veterans of the game. Why does Dimitrov need to retire? He's living his best life. Let Stan and Murray and whoever play until they can't anymore. They're still among the best in the world. Doing his best. Is this a Grand Slam quarterfinal? Doesn't feel like retire from the match. Yeah. That's what I thought you meant, Snahil, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, sorry, Matt. I was kept y'all waiting. Hopefully they're good answer. He just doesn't believe. I saw when he played Djokovic in Paris. Dimitrov played so well to beat Steph, but then was so flat versus Novak. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he just didn't show up in the final. Yeah. Which is so weird, right? Because he's beaten other top guys. He beat Rune to win Brisbane. Rune was top 10 at the time, I think, like world number 7. He beat Alcaraz in Miami. He beats Zverev in Miami. He's beaten some good players, but Sinner and Djokovic, he's got some mental baggage. Backhand Dimitrov missed it. 15 all. Well, an upside is that Sinner is going to be much more fresh for potentially semifinal and finals. And we could get some absolutely epic matches with a Jannik Sinner playing at this kind of a level on a clay court. On a clay court, you're not as certain about Sinner feeling quite the same kind of level of confidence all the way through the end of the match, although I'm sure he'll be confident and play well. Forehand, Sinner, he's there, but Dimitrov's good with the volley, 30-15. So if we do get Sinner Alcaraz semifinals, if Sinner gets through this pretty handily, at least he'll be very fresh for that one, for an epic contest. So there's an upside there, if nothing else. By the way, I kind of just want to count up how many 5-set matches we've had in this tournament, because it feels like it's been a lot. Not as many as the Australian Open, which was quite literally the record for most 5 sets, you know? It had the record, 35, tied with like 1981 or something. 1981 U.S. Open, I think. Something like that. Could have been any of those years, 79, 80. But we've had a lot of long matches, so I expect Alcaraz Steph is going to be a long match later today. I highly expect Alcaraz Steph to be competitive. I'll just say already, I'll be highly shocked if Alcaraz wins that easily. I know their head-to-head has been going on a trend. You want to pay attention to trends where it's been getting easier and easier. I'll just say for myself, I'll be highly, highly shocked if Alcaraz wins in straight sets. That's all I'll say. Forehand to Sinner, backhand of Dimitrov. That's in the net. Break point coming here for Sinner to break and then serve for the match here in the second. I don't know. More chance for Dimitrov to focus on Wimbledon. I do want him to really give his all at Wimbledon, Grigor. I mean, serving as well as ever, not really in this match, but he should be good at Wimbledon. Come the grass court swing. He's reached the semis there before. But disappointing he can't give more in the semifinal, quarterfinal. Sinner very close to semifinal at RG. 4 years after he first reached the quarters here as a teenager, playing Rafa. And one of the first matches, full matches I watched of him. Backhand down the line, forehand slice. Forehand of Dimitrov, cross score is very good. Deuce. Roland Garros, he already has a name, Jannik Sinner. Okay, it very much could be Edgar. He won Australia. Okay, deuce here, 2-4. Demi serving. Serve out wide. Forehand of Sinner goes out cross court. Goes wide. Advantage to Dimitrov. Anthony, how do you see tomorrow's quarterfinal and semifinal shaking out in the top half? Okay. Yeah, it's a good question. I'll say that. I'll speak about that during the changeover. That goes out from Sinner. So Dimitrov with a solid hold, saves a break point. Something that he hasn't been able to do very well against Dimitrov in their last few matchups is save break points at all. That's been the worst stat for Grigor in their last few matches. Also partially due to Sinner converting, and playing the big points well. But gets to 4-3. How do I see the top half shaking out? So Zverev Demnor, I could actually see it being somewhat close, although I kind of think Zverev's going to win in either 3 sets or 4 sets, probably 4 sets, because Demnor is playing really well. and Zverev hasn't played his best tennis so far. So I kind of see that being Zverev in four sets. I think he's still the more comfortable on clay. He won their last meeting in Indian Wells in 3 sets. De Minaur beat him at United Cup earlier in the year, but I think Zverev will run on the confidence that he got from that win at Indian Wells, revenge victory. Yeah, I kind of see Zverev getting through that. He hasn't played his best tennis so far, but I do like Zverev's matchup against De Minaur on clay. I think he can be the more steady player from the back of the court, kind of just aggressive baseline kind of play, where De Minaur might struggle a little bit, kind of finding the right amount of pace and depth from the back of the court on clay at this point to really match Zverev, especially as Zverev does play better than he did against Grigor and also against going on a blank for some reason. He just played Runa. So I think that, and then also Ruud versus Djokovic. Djokovic is going to be tired. I'm going to make my prediction. I think Djokovic is going to feel it a little bit. I think he's going to feel it a little bit. Even he said himself, it's probably partially maybe mind games, but to be honest, but I think he said he's not even sure he's going to take the court. I think he'll take the court, but I think he will feel it. I'm not going to lie. And I really do like my Casper in 4 prediction that I said before tournament even started. So I'm just going to stick with that. I think Casper's a lead on clay. I really think Casper's going to play maybe the match of his life. I think he's going to be so motivated to really step up his level and get revenge over Novak. So that's how I see that playing out. And then I can also talk about the ladies as well in a second. Talk about the WTA side too. Serve coming here from Jannik at 30 love. Backhand slice, that's in the net. So it's going to the WTA here as well. Is it just the one match tomorrow happening? So yeah, wait, hold up. So it's going to be the quarterfinals. Yeah, Paulina Rybakina. I see Rybakina getting through that. Sinner, by the way, gets sold for 5-3. I see Rybakina getting through that. And Andreeva versus Sabalenka. I think Andreeva will give Sabalenka a much closer contest. It's not Madrid. I think Andreeva is going to like the matchup a little bit more. Screw it. I'll give Andreeva a set. Actually, no. I'm lying. Sabalenka in straight sets, but I think it'll be closer. I think one set is like a tiebreaker. I think both sets are closer than they have been in Madrid. I think it'll still be straight sets. I changed my mind. I did it immediately after I said it, so I think it's still fair. Straight sets for Sabalenka, but I think it'll be closer. I think it'll be clearly closer than either of their Madrid matches have been. Make Sinner think a little bit. That's a good serve down the tee. 15 all. It's up for rank. Bonjour. Dimitrov, yeah. Schedule's not out, but I wonder what the tournament will do for tomorrow. Novak and Sasha will both want to play after 3 p.m., but not the night match. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because they're both going to be exhausted, huh? I didn't think for a while that Rublev's on-court outbursts were tactical moves. Yeah, absolutely not. It's clear for anybody actually paying attention that it's just not. Forehand cross court, the forehand of center, forehand of Dimitrov, down line back in the center. That's in the net. That's in the ground. 40-15. Back on his side. Gotta walk my dog, enjoy tennis. All right, I'll see you later, Ghost. Novak and Sinner got to the final. Would they be playing for number 1 spot? Yeah, I believe so. It's a good question, but I think that would be the case. Djokovic can only retain the number 1 ranking if he defeats a player other than Sinner in the final. So no, they would not be. I guess if Sinner reaches the final, it's over. Okay, so yeah, if according to I'm just on Wikipedia, but it seems like if Sinner reaches the final, he's world number 1. That's pretty insane. And also, that'd be kind of weird if Djokovic wins Roland Garros and then Sinner is still number one. But if Sinner is in the final, it kind of makes sense. Let's be honest. He's been on an absolute rampage the last 52 weeks. Backhand, that's a shank from Dimitrov. Sinner is 2 points away from the set. Don't think Ruud has the level any higher than he has shown us till now, but yes, he can beat Novak considering Novak will feel his knee. I still think he's got a higher level than he's shown, to be honest. And he's shown a very high peak level. I think his peak level is underrated. Whether that's I'd say I'd mention a few matches, and some of them might be a bit obscure. That's a good serve from Dimitrov out wide, center in the net, so advantage to Dimitrov. But whether it's FA in Canada, whether it's whether it's against Rublev at the ATP Finals a few years ago, whether it's against who was it? I think Rublev at US Open a few years ago, whether it's against Zverev last year at Roland Garros, against Rune last year at Roland Garros, against Djokovic last year at Roland Garros. He played quite well, to be honest. Against Djokovic this year at Monte Carlo. I mean, he's shown a good level in a lot of those matches. Good serving from Dimitrov, gets forced errors from Sinner off the backhand and the forehand. Holds for 5-4. Going to be a very interesting game here at 5-4. If Dimitrov goes down 2-0, it's over, in my opinion. I think it's done. But let's see what Dimitrov has in this 5-4 game. Let's see what Dimitrov has in that 5-4 game. Sinner smoking that Dimitrov pack today. Yeah, true. I think the most intriguing final will be Zverev versus Sinner, provided Zverev doesn't have another 5-setter. That's a good question. What's the most interesting final? Sinner Zverev is good. Sinner has struggled against Zverev. I just don't love watching Zverev play. I'm just going to be straight up. So, from an entertainment standpoint, I just would not be very entertained. Generally, Zverev can play long matches. I'm just not that tuned into him. Hyped up about him. For me, the most interesting match. Thinking about the quarterfinals that we have. That's a good question. I haven't thought about that actually. I haven't given a single thought to that. It wouldn't be de Minaur, right? It would not be Sinner versus de Minaur. It wouldn't be de Minaur against anybody. No offense to Alex. Wouldn't be Zverev. Djokovic might be tired after Zverev and I think maybe the best final. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it would be Djokovic in the final. Yeah, I think the best final would be Djokovic versus maybe Alcaraz. Maybe Tsitsipas. Actually, Djokovic against anybody from the bottom half. I think Djokovic reaching the final is the best case scenario, to be honest. That's my opinion. Because Djokovic is so good in Grand Slam finals and at performing in the final stages that even if people think maybe health is a little bit of a concern, it should be a concern. So if he can, at this point, so if he can win the quarters and semis, I mean, maybe he'll have enough gas for the final. Who knows? But also, I guess the logic doesn't really work that way. You still might be tired. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's a great case scenario for the final on paper where it's like obviously it would be incredible. But I think Djokovic or Casper could make a great final against any of those guys. Casper's an elite player on clay. I think we don't give him his flowers enough. He beat Djokovic in Monte Carlo earlier this year. He can still perform decently well against top guys. Beat Tsitsipas in Barcelona. I don't know. I'd like to see Casper in the final. I think Casper versus Casper Steph would be great. That would be an awesome final. Casper Steph. But also Casper versus Jannik would be great. Casper Sinner would be an amazing final. Actually, that's my opinion. I think best case scenario, just in terms of a great final, would be Jannik versus Casper. My opinion. Winners, by the way, in this set: 13 for Dimitrov, 10 for Sinner. Let's see if Dimitrov steps up here at the last bit here. He could. The forehand of Sinner, inside out, backhand Dimitrov can't get that. That's a ridiculous angle from Jannik. I mean, just come on, get out. Get out. Dimitrov looking at the lines desperately, just hoping that it will the mark will move over a little bit and go into the tram lines. Hope that the mark on the line goes a little bit to the left. So that's not in anymore. Dimitrov is 2 points away from going up 2-0 on Dimitrov. Playing fantastic. Serving great too, with a great serve out wide. Forehand follow it up. Sinner is playing perfect. Sinner is playing perfect. It reminds me of Rybakina on the women's side. They're kind of similar in a lot of ways, Rybakina and Jannik. And when they're at their peak, it's they're just silent killers on the court. They just look perfect. Just pretty much perfect. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully not to jinx. As long as Jannik stays healthy, it'll be a lot of fun to watch him over in the next 15 years. Serve from Sinner. Backhand. Oh, Dimitrov goes out. He should have made the return, and that goes out. Sinner's up 2-0. Not good from Dimitrov so far, and absolutely just phenomenal from Jannik. So we're at 6-2, 6-4 after an hour and 21 minutes. Not entirely dissimilar from the Miami matchup, although Dimitrov, I would argue, performing a little bit less. Djokovic Alcaraz would be number one. Yeah, Djokovic Alcaraz would be quite good. Stefanos versus Casper, Novak versus Alki, Z versus Sinner. Okay, I kind of think Casper Sinner would be quite good, but I don't know. Casper Steph would be great, because also it feels like Casper has a better chance versus Steph than Jannik in my opinion. Djokovic versus Tsitsipas would be best. Nolan Apostolos means GOAT versus GOAT. Yeah, but if it's Novak versus Steph, then you just feel like Novak already has the match won, to be honest. Sinner Zverev would be horrible. Zverev, considering he has already played 2 5-setters. Yeah, but Zverev's not one known to get tired. I kind of just think he'll still be fit for it, but it depends on how his next couple matches go. Ruud has narrowed the gap. I just don't see him doing anything more than winning a set if he faces Sinner or Alcaraz. I agree against Alcaraz, no doubt. I'd be foolish to say he could do more against Alcaraz, and I probably the same against Sinner. Yeah, you're right. I agree. Probably. Although I will say on clay, Casper versus Sinner is a little bit more interesting, but Casper would get destroyed in the final by Sinner and Alcaraz just like the last 2 years, to be honest. You guys are probably right. Don't think Djokovic is too bothered about losing world number 1, but he will care about falling to 3, being seeded 3 at Wimby, and having to beat both Carlos and Sinner would be hard. It would be very hard. He might not even play Wimbledon. Is he going to play Wimbledon? Because he might just focus on the Olympics. Who knows? He would. His motivations be high at Wimbledon, rankings, defending finals, getting revenge. Maybe one of his last best chances to win Wimbledon, tie up Federer's record for the most Wimbledons. But is it? I don't know. What's high? Where's his motivations at? Who knows? What's higher, Olympics or Wimbledon? Sinner for me has the easiest run. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. He beat. Quite clearly now that I'm looking at it, Eubanks, Gasquet, Kotov, Mute, and now he has a pretty simple Dimitrov. I will say though, this is kind of fate rewarding Sinner after having so many tough draws. I've lived through Sinner having tough draw after tough draw after tough draw after tough draw. The fact that he had a good run at Wimbledon, now has a good run at Roland Garros, it's whatever. He beat Djokovic and Medvedev back-to-back in Australian Open. Didn't have an easy draw there. This is just him getting a few rewards after everything that the man has been through. And for a few years' time, honestly. 2021, 2022, the guy was getting hard draw after hard draw at Sinner. So this is justice to me. The most beatdown would be Novak and Zverev. Yeah, it could be. Absolutely. Question, do you think that Tsitsipas's backhand is a handicap? And if so, Why doesn't he retool it? I think his backhand is better on clay, Essek. One. I think his backhand is better on clay. He gets a height on the ball that can do well on a high bouncing clay court, and he has more time to hit the backhand. His backhand is quite good for a clay court. I don't know if it's that easy to. It's very hard to repurpose a tool like that. I mean, he's 25. It's hard this late into a career when he's playing it this way to repurpose it in that way. It's just hard to make that kind of a change and to retool it. To retool a ground stroke, I mean, people talk about it all the time. It's very difficult. Some players just literally just can't do it. And that might be Steph's kind of prerogative. I think it's a weak point, but I also just don't think it's. I think it's not the worst shot in the top. I don't think it's like the worst shot ever. He can still hit some good shots off the backhand. I think it's the worst backhand in the top 10. I don't think it. I would doubt it's the worst backhand like the top 100. Forehand of Sinner to the backhand of Dimitrov. Backhand of Dimitrov, the backhand of Sinner down the line. Forehand of Dimitrov. That goes out. So 30 all. But yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if he could retool, maybe it will, but we'll see. Horrible, just horrible from Demi, not taking anything away from Sinners, not having to do much, to be honest. Let's be real. Yeah, I mean, I agree. He's not doing well. Why would Nole not play Wimby? Only lives for slams? That is just foolish to say. He lives for slams and for the Olympics. I mean, Djokovic has spoken about how much he wants to win the Olympics. So if he to go from Roland Garros right back to Olympics. I think Djokovic has mentioned before, at least there have been rumors that he's been thinking about it. I mean, after a long Roland Garros, I don't know. I'm slightly considering it. I think he will play Wimbledon, but I do personally think that it's worth it to consider that some of the players might not, including Novak. Not saying I'm guessing he won't, but I do think it's worth it to point that out as a possibility. So break point here for Sinner. Start off the third. Forehand. That goes out from Sinner. Why are we not talking about Dimitrov? He can be the ultimate dark horse. That would be crazy, huh? Maybe. You wouldn't imagine it on a clay court. I'd imagine it much easier on grass or on hard courts. But the guy is much better on clay than ever. The guy's so good on defense, and now he can finally. He's just hitting so well, and he's really seemed to figure out the clay, kind of like Medvedev Rome-esque. So yeah, he is a dark horse. It would be crazy if he could beat Zverev. Forehand cross court, forehand Sinner, back and volley. Dimitrov, that's much better from Dimitrov. He's finding it too late, though. Clearly a mental thing, because now that the pressure is off, now it actually looks like Dimitrov's on the court. This is finally Grigor Dimitrov showing up. Finally. When is Tennis Olympics? Mid-August? It's right after Wimbledon. It's like 2 weeks later. It's like late July. It's like right after. It starts July 27th, so it's like right after Wimbledon. So that's what I mean. Novak puts his full motivation to the Olympics. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. At 37 years old, to go from clay to grass to clay, especially with motivations to win, it's hard. So it's out, to me, that's the reason it's at least worth it to bring up. But I know on paper it seems unlikely, but I'd say it's worth it to bring up. Anyway, that's a great backhand pass from Sinner. So is that deuce? Dimitrov can't win because he'll never win 1,000 events, someone said. Oh, bringing it up my dark past, huh? I see that, Joe. Bringing up my dark past. I mean, no offense to Dimitrov, I kind of stand by what I said, but I will say that I also think he'll lose to Zverev, but I would love to see me be proven wrong more than anything. I'm not gonna lie. If I was wrong, I would be ecstatic because Dimitrov is one of my favorite players. So we'll see. He is playing his best tennis, and it's awesome to see. Sinner continues to be number one in the live rankings, by the way, of course, because Djokovic needs to reach the final to even have a chance to get to number one. or to be number one after this week. What is Djokovic's tally at for number one weeks at number one? What is his tally at? Because whatever it is, this week might be the last week. It's Monday today. Is it Monday? It's Tuesday. Yeah, Monday was yesterday. Whatever this week that just started, it could be the last week that a member of the Big Four is world number one this week. It could be. It might not be. It could be. That's something that I think is interesting. It's possible Djokovic would be number one for 30 more weeks. But Novak total weeks number one, 427 weeks. Okay. Interesting. That's pretty crazy. That could be the final tally. There's a reason we don't talk about Dimitrov because he doesn't quite have the power hang with top three and just suddenly can't change. Although I'm myself a fan Demon, I would love for him to do something big. It's going to be hard for him to beat the top big hitting guys. I agree. It was Anthony. How can you say that to your twin, Anthony? Yeah, well, it was my prediction. We're talking about guys that can win the thousands. I said I just kind of think Demonor won't. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong. In fact, I might change my mind. But I'll stick with it. I'll stick with it for now. One of the biggest reasons is that to this point, he hasn't performed that great in the big tournaments, but he's doing better now. Monte Carlo quarterfinals, obviously Canada final last year, but those are, I believe, his only 2 times even reaching the quarters of a Masters 1000, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see. We'll see. But we have just been through a weird period of Masters 1000s where Roger retired, Murray is not himself, Rafa's not himself, barely playing. Novak is past his prime and he's barely playing Masters 1000s that often now. And Sinner and Alcaraz aren't quite at their peak yet. So when we have the top guys at the top, like Sinner, Alcaraz, whoever else is at the top, Holger Rune, whoever else, they won't dominate the Masters like the big 3 did. But they could make it hard to get a Masters 1000, more difficult than we've seen over the last couple of years. That's a good ace from Sinner out wide, so he gets to 30 all. Backhand slice of Grigor, the backhand of Sinner, backhand slice of Grigor. The backhand of Sinner, forehand of Grigor. The backhand of Sinner, forehand of Grigor again. It's in the net. It's not an error that Grigor wants to make when he has an opportunity like that. By the way, the stream yesterday for Djokovic Cerundolo hit 12K views, so 12,000 people. So appreciate everybody joining in. Hopefully we can have streams that big towards the end of the event as well. The ends of the slams are always awesome. And appreciate everybody joining in for that. That one was fun. I mean, both Musetti and Cerundolo matches, to be able to watch that and have that as a time capsule on this channel to return back to is amazing, because those are historic matches, honestly. I can't even quite say why they're historic. They just are. Like, I guess they're historic just because Djokovic at 37 to win 2 matches back-to-back at 4+ hours. I mean, it's just, the guy just, I don't know, feels career-defining in some ways, in a weird kind of way. Also, obviously, got the most match wins ever at a Grand Slam. Tied it up with Musetti. And he passed it with the Cerundolo match. Sinner getting something in his eye, by the way, right before he's going to go to serve. Dimitrov with a chance here to at least step up in the 3rd set. I guess you never really know. We saw a strange situation with Mute in the last match. Could it be a strange situation here with Dimitrov showing up in the third set onwards. We'll see. I guess that's a possibility of some kind. I mean, we've seen Dimitrov have an insane peak level. If he brings it, then he should. That it's at least possible. Backhand slice, the backhand of center. Forehand of Dimitrov. Cross court, the forehand of Jannik. Forehand of Dimitrov. Down the line. Backhand of center. Backhand slice of Dimitrov. Slicing so much. Hit over it. Forehand cross court, the forehand of Dimitrov. Forehand of center. Dimitrov's very good. Dimitrov with a fist bump. And he believes. He believes. He believes. Advantage for Dimitrov. Does he? Let's see. I will say center with that sliding shot usually gets a little bit more depth on it. That's sat up for Dimitrov. And on a clay court, those defensive shots, they do sit up a little bit more. He does have good defense, but his defense to offense, Jannik, it does work a little bit better off of clay. Well, I don't know. Actually, that's false. But I don't know. That one fell short. Center is probably more comfortable off of clay doing defense, but the clay does reward defense quite a bit. But that it didn't work there. Backhand slice, the backhand of Sinner's moment of truth. Backhand slice. Sinner kind of losing his positioning in the court a little bit, I feel like. Backhand big to forehand of Sinner. Forehand Dimitrov cross court, the forehand of Sinner. That's a big shot. Dimitrov gets it. Oh, what a shot. Backhand slice. Oh, Dimitrov had a backhand pass, completely missed it. And Dimitrov knows it too. That's a shot he usually could have made. There's an exquisite squash shot from Dimitrov, which ended up being a drop shot. A squash shot, drop shot. A squash shot, drop shot. Which went an inch in front of the net off a like 100-mile-per-hour center forehand. Probably not that big, but like a 90-mile-per-hour center forehand. And yeah, he kind of had the down the line open as Sinner hit a cross court shot coming into the net. Back in cross court, and completely missed a one-hander down the line, so we're at deuce. Serve out wide, that goes out. That goes in the net from Dimitrov, so advantage to Sinner. Boo, Anthony, fair enough. Fair enough. I might deserve the boos. Comparison between Demonor and Anthony is genius. I commend you. No, it was Lexi. It was Lexi at Faison. Anthony Demonor. Okay. Anthony Demonor. Speed Demon. Anthony Demonor. Serve from center here to get to 1-1. Backhand of Dimitrov. That goes out. 1-1 for center. It pains me to say, but I agree with Anthony until Demonor suddenly bulks up. Fair enough. Demi is winning for a super good fan. That's just like the most adorable story ever, dude. It's so cute, that video. It's a great story. I love stories like that. I think that the Olympics could be the most anticipated tennis event of the year. Rafa, Novak, Zverev, Carlos, Sinner, Steph, Ruud, best three format monster clashes. I've been saying it for over a year, quite literally for over a year, probably 2 years. I've been saying the Olympics have potential to be an all-time great tennis event. It has potential to be the greatest tennis tournament of all time. And why it sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but is it? When you think about it, Rafa close to hanging up the racket. This is at Roland Garros. Djokovic kind of struggling, but now, I mean, look at the kind of performances he's had here with a maybe final chance to get to the final of the Olympics, win the Olympics. Forehand Dimitrov misses wide. Carlos, Jannik in the mix. Young generation Runa in the mix at Roland Garros. I mean, everything. Even in the last few months, everything is setting up for the Olympics to just be a classic, man. And it's going to be, I think. I hope for that. I definitely hope for that. 15 all here. Serve out wide. That goes out from the return of center. 30-15. Good stuff from Dimitrov serving. I think I see Grigor giving a bit of a find the set 7-5, I think. I'm gonna go 6-4 Jannik. I'm gonna go 6-4 Jannik. I'm not gonna say Grigor makes it that close, but let's see. I have Stefanos in the final versus Casper. Rematch of Monte Carlo. Serve out wide. Very good. 40-15 for Dimitrov. Yes, Lexi. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if it could be that final. Congrats, Anthony. Thank you. Anthony, by the way, I told you you go to be back to business after the Osaka match. I mean, she destroyed Vondrousova today, one of her best performances. Yeah, she's been absolutely killer. She's going to win this tournament. I think. I think she's not going to lose another set. That Osaka match is going to prove crucial. Smash Sinner. Love that. Dude, the guy's so athletic as well. That was like, was that jumping smash? Like Alex Sampras. I want to say a replay. Oh, it's perfect. Net cam. Yeah, it was. Dude, Alec Gilmon, Feast, Alec Pete Sampras. Jumping smash. Great. Error center. Serve down T. That's too good. 2-1. All right. I'll be back in a moment, guys, for the 2-1 game. Don't go anywhere. One to two. By the way, guys, please don't forget to subscribe. Quality Shot Tennis if you have not already. It's Dimitrov here to return. We are nearing on 11K. We are so close to 11K subs. Can we get there by the end of the stream? Let's see. We will also be doing Alcaraz Tsitsipas later today. Faison will have the call for that one. Definitely make sure to join in for that. Center here, serving. Forehand of Dimitrov. Forehand, a center. Forehand Dimitrov. Down the line. That goes out. 15 love. The more people doubt Novak, the more he will prove us wrong. Yeah, that's true. I only doubted Novak in this slam. This is not his surface. I mean, is it not though? I feel like Novak is the only guy who you can't really say this is not a surface. I think for Clay as well. For Federer, you can say it, despite him being probably an all-time great on clay. I think you can still say clay is not a surface because he's so much better on grass and on hard courts. But for Novak, I don't know if you can say that for clay. Because Novak would probably have like 6-7 French Opens if it wasn't for Rafa, in my opinion. So I don't know. But I see, anyway, I mean, whatever. I see what you're saying, though. You are a genius, Anthony Demonor versus Faison Struve. Faison Struve is hilarious. Seen Demon make that pass several times in Masters in recent times. Yeah. I hope Dimitrov can get one set. Yeah, Arja. I hope so as well for sure. A lot more like Manzama to me. He's on Struve. Backhand cross court, backhand down the line. Dimitrov, that goes out. Love hold for Jannik. He's 4 games away from booking his spot in the semis, and then we'll see later if Alcaraz can do the same for another Syncraz match. Did you see my face light up? Did y'all see my face light up? Did y'all see my face light up with Sinner Alcaraz? It's kind of stupid, but I really was worried. I genuinely was very worried that after the big 3, I knew that that tennis would keep going and have more great eras, but I was worried I wouldn't be as invested. Dude, I mean, I couldn't be happier with Sinner and Alcaraz. Now they're tied up 4-4. I know they played in the Challenger, but I'm just not going to include that because, anyway, at ADB level, they are tied up at 4-4 apiece. And, I mean, to play in a semifinal, the deepest they've played at a Grand Slam, their first Grand Slam match since the U.S. Open crazy match, I believe. Yeah. Dude. 15 all as Dimitrov misses that long. Do some play-by-play here in this game at 2-2. Hour and 46 minutes played so far. Serve down the tee. That is a ace. Good serve there from Dimitrov. Faison Baghdadis. I could see that. But Collins is crazy. Baghdadis, I don't know how I feel about that. I prefer Berrettini or Dimitrov. That's so good, actually. Berrettini, Dimitrov, maybe Casper. Backhand, forehand of Dimitrov, forehand a center. Forehand Dimitrov, back in a center. Forehand slice. Forehand center. Backhand Dimitrov's very good. 40-15. Hunter says the worst opponent as per style of play to be up against Iga if you want to see a close match. That's true. You want a big hitting kind of player, huh? Grammatic, I'm unsubscribing. Bye, fans. It's so funny, actually. Center versus Alcaraz totally jazz as well. But Alcaraz needs to get through Steph, and I think that might be the toughest match he'll play. He'll have played against Steph since their U.S. Open match when Alcaraz had just turned 18. He won that one, too. How many games will Dimitrov get to before being broken? I'll say 4. Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, I say 6-4 as well. Matthew, you and I are in the same boat. I think Cedric earlier was saying 7-5. I think it'll be 6-4. We literally said Novak is the second best player on clay of all time because Novak only kept losing the finals for off except for 3 RGQ1. I actually kind of agree. Maybe Borg. I'm not even going to decide between Borg and Novak, but he's right up there. I'll just put it like that. 40-30 Dimitrov serve from Grigor. Out wide, back in the center. Forehand of Dimitrov, forehand a center, shanked. That's a good hold from Dimitrov. He's making this third set closer. He's playing better. 3-2. Let's see. Maybe he can do something. You never know, do you? You never know in tennis. It's the rule. That's the rule. We didn't think Mute would go up 5-0, 40-15 serving. Can we just talk about everybody's face when that was happening? Everyone's. When Mute was up a triple break on Jannik Sinner, drop shotting like crazy, hitting underhand serves, was serving at 5-0, 40-15. Listen, I'm notoriously a fan of Jannik. And, dude, that was the most amazing moment of the whole year. In hindsight, that was the most amazing moment of the whole year. For Mute to be serving up 5-0, 40-15 on Sinner, and suddenly we're thinking, is Mute going to, win in straight sets pretty easily or something? That was, in everybody's head, is that possible? That was the most amazing moment of the whole year. Nothing else is even going to come close. So pack it up. Somebody asked me if Djokovic winning those 2 matches was the story of the French Open so far. The story of the French Open was Moutet nearly bageling Sinner. Because how funny is that? how funny is that? Especially because Sinner, the round before that against Kotov, played such a ridiculously good match. Nothing's going to beat that. Wimbledon finishes July 14th. Tennis Olympics start July 27th. That's mad. Yes. Let's say you make semifinal finals of Wimbledon, 5 to 7 days rest, and then straight onto clay for 1 week practice for his first Olympic match. Exactly, Matt. And that's why I really don't think it's crazy for Novak to consider not playing Wimbledon. I don't think it's crazy. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Once again, I'm not predicting it, but it's not crazy. I agree with Casper, but it's debatable. Yeah, but I really do think it's not entirely unfair. But I would probably put Borg number 2. I'd probably put Borg number 2. There's also other great players, by the way, who've done absolutely fantastic on clay throughout history. There's so many others to name, whether that's whether that's Guillermo Vilas or Villander, or whether that's guys from way back in the day, like an Anthony Wilding or like a Bill Tilden type, that names that you just maybe haven't even that a lot of people haven't even heard of. But Tomas Muster, there's a lot of great names throughout history who've played great on clay. But yeah, I would probably put Borg number 2 and then Novak number 3. Roger would be somewhere there as well, no doubt. Carlos will be up there, I'm sure, and maybe Jannik as well. We'll see. If Holger does win 14 French Opens, he will be up there. Kind of doubt it for some reason. Serve out wide, forehand Dimitrov, back in a center. Forehand Dimitrov. It's a good shot. Cross court. 30-15. Rude will blast balls everywhere. Round 1 Wimbledon. Play some golf, then get on clay for the Olympics. Yeah, there's no reason for him to even play. I'll just play for the fun of it. Get a match in. By the way, winners in this match, 26 for Grigor, 24 for Sinner. But that just shows where the unforced error count is at. Unforced errors and forced errors. Just errors count is so much higher for Grigor. Serve into the net. Second serve coming here from Jannik. Kick serve, backhand slice of Grigor in the backhand of Sinner, cross court, backhand slice of Dimitrov. Forehand of Sinner, backhand of Dimitrov. Backhand of Sinner. Going backhand to backhand. Backhand slice now into the net. I mean, I just, like, if Dimitrov's going to miss balls, I would rather him just absolutely go for it. Like, he should just be absolutely crushing shots. He's not going to win by just slicing it and occasionally missing it into the net. Like, he's got to just go for it, right? You would think he would just go for it. I mean, even if he loses every point for the rest of the match, but at least if he's going for his shots, at least I feel like he's putting himself in some position to have a chance to win. That's my feelings. That's always my feeling. Even if like, if you're going to lose anyway, playing this way, you might as well try something else. I mean, what's the point of not doing that? You know? When you're not feeling a match for whatever reason, how do you find a way to make it sound interesting? You're good at that. Ooh, Cedric, that's a great question. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm sure I could self-analyze and figure that out, but it would take me a second. So maybe I'll answer it later if I think about it. But I'm glad that I can do that. But in my head, often I'm like, man, this match sucks, huh? Not saying this one, but also saying it. Well, whatever. But yeah, I guess I can do that. Serve down T, forehand of Dimitrov. Forehand of Sinner, backhand slice of Grigor. Forehand slice Dimitrov. That goes out. Gustavo Kuerten. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Kuerten is great. Demi is a two-edged sword. When he is on, he's incredible, but he's awful to watch when he's not. I agree. But he is one of the most entertaining players ever, maybe. I mean, I think he's one of the best shot makers of all time. He's gotten completely overshadowed by Roger, for example, because his game is very similar to Roger, but he's one of the best shot makers ever. He's one of the greatest athletes of the last 15, 20 years in tennis. And yeah, I mean, when he is fun to watch, but especially in the big matches, he can show up with a performance that is not exciting. That's a good serve and volley from Grigor, and that's a half volley. That's why I think Dimitrov, if anything, will be good to watch at Wimbledon. I actually said that like 3 or 4 months ago. Actually, I remember like a year and a half ago, I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about players above the age of 30 that could still win their first Grand Slam. And I said I would not count a guy. I would not count Dimitrov out at all. We kind of got into an argument, but over Grigor and his opportunity. But I was like, I still wouldn't count out Grigor. I still think he's got potential. I think he's been steadily rocking at the top of the tour. And he's still been around for a while, and I feel like he's still playing well. And yeah, and then he started playing as well as he did post Beijing, and so good stuff from Grigor. But yeah, so I felt like I got that one right. Admit, Anthony, this match does suck till now. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it does. Hopefully it picks up, though. Rafa and Ruud may have the best chance at the Olympics, considering they may not invested in Wimbledon. Maybe Steph as well if he loses early. Yeah, I agree. Well, also, okay, but that's a double-edged sword, because people so it will go both ways, right? People who are not invested in Wimbledon will do well at the Olympics. People who are not invested at the Olympics will do well at Wimbledon. So that's why I think a guy like Hubert Hurkacz could be absolutely a very big threat at Wimbledon. Like a guy like that, I think will be a huge threat at Wimbledon, because Hurkacz is a great player on grass. Also, really excited to see Felix Auger-Aliassime on grass, because this is a guy who who I think should be one of the best players in the world on grass when he's at his best. I know the guy's very inconsistent, but when his game is on and he's playing well, I think he should be very good on grass, kind of like indoor hard courts. So I'd look out for guys like that at Wimbledon. Dimitrov, Rublev, Hurkacz, guys like that. I mean, you never know. I think Wimbledon could be open, because so many guys looking at the Olympics. Guess what? Everybody, like, suddenly something crazy could happen at Wimbledon. It could happen the other way around, where people are so focused on Olympics that they on Wimbledon that they don't do well at the Olympics. But yeah, we'll see. I think definitely Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, they're all gonna have their eyes on the Olympics, is my kind of thing. Surf here from Sinner. Definitely a closer third set between two of the biggest talents in tennis. Let's see if we get the match that we were hoping for in this third set. We haven't gotten to this point, but let's see if we can get it here. Definitely a higher level from Dimitrov, much more loose in this set. Backhand down the middle, forehand of Jannik. Forehand Dimitrov, the forehand of Jannik. Backhand slice of Dimitrov, that goes out. So 30 love. Hey, what's up, Max? Good to have you in here. This match is exactly why Demi will never win a slam. It's not about the serve, it's about the mental part more, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. By the way, unforced errors, 40 for Dimitrov, 17 for Sinner. Backhand slice, that's in the net for Dimitrov, so 40 love for Sinner. It's unlikely, but I also am just, Dimitrov has such a high peak level, like what we saw against Alcaraz in Miami, that I just tend to not completely count him out. But yeah. Mentally, it just gets away from Grigor. 2 hours into this one. It's a good serve from Sinner, so 4-4. Is it true Djokovic has withdrawn? What? Wait, hold up. Probably not. Don't want to wait. Gus, where are you seeing that? I don't think so. Let's see. I don't think Djokovic would do that so soon after the match as well. He would give his body more time. So I don't think so. But if that's the news, then that's the news. I don't think it is though. I haven't seen that. Wow. No. Is it? Wow, tennis podcast. Oh, it is the news. Djokovic withdrawn. You're right. You're right, Ghost. You're right, Ghost. You are correct. Wow, dude. Djokovic has withdrawn from Roland Garros after having undergone an MRI on his knee and found a meniscus tear. Loses about 1,600 ranking points. Jannik Sinner is world number one. Jannik Sinner is world number one. But okay, first of all, feel bad for Djokovic because he's defending the title and all that. So Djokovic is losing points. Feel bad for Novak. This isn't the way Sinner would have won to gain number one. That being said, Sinner is the new world number one for the first time in his career. 29th. Dude, Sinner is world number one. He made it. He made it. Okay, but also feel bad for Novak. So he's out, which is terrible for Djokovic. Man, that changes the tournament completely. So Casper Ruud is through to the semis. Ruud is through. He'll play Zverev or Dimitrov. So Casper's Zverev or Dimitrov could be in the final. Ruud could reach a third consecutive final quite easily. Wow, Djokovic, he hasn't reached a single final this year. I mean, two sensational matches from Novak in the last couple rounds. Oh my freaking god, Djokovic. Man, Sinner's gonna find out he's world number one right after this match ends. That's how crazy this is right now. Hope Novak can recover soon. Yeah, same. Don't like withdrawals due to injury. Yeah, I'm at a loss of words right now. Oh my god. Djokovic withdrawals due to knee injury. Wait, for real? Yep. Novak has withdrawn. Djokovic has withdrawn. Yeah, it's all real. Wow, dude. Okay, first of all, just to make it clear, feel bad for Djokovic. That's a terrible situation for him to have to deal with that injury. He will get some more rest time going into Wimbledon or Olympics, probably Wimbledon, going to Wimbledon. Dimitrov misses another shot. So make that clear. But also, oh my God, how that changes the trajectory of the tournament. Casper, better chance for the final. And Jannik is world number one. Dude, that's unbelievable. Sinner became world number one about 15 minutes ago. That is crazy. Serve from Dimitrov. Down the tee, back into Sinner. Forehand Dimitrov. That goes out. Another unforced error. What did I say? I said 6-4. Could be. He's a game away from winning this match. Sinner will find out in the I hope I can watch it. He'll find out in the post on the on-court interview that he's world number one. Dude, my boy made it. Sinner made it. World number one. But yeah, massive shame for Novak. Yes. Yes. Yeah, massive shame for Novak. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Recovery won't be that long. Meniscus tears are annoying. I've had that one. Hopefully he recovers quick. It's harder to get better when you're 37 years old. Good news for Ruud's fans. He'll be fresh for the semis. Yes, true too. I'm elated for you, Anthony. You've been hyping Sinner for as long as you've been on this channel. Yeah, and probably a year or more than that, honestly, before that. So, but yeah, thanks for that, James. But yeah, anyway, doesn't matter. Feel bad for Novak and Ruud buddy, please send Zverev home. We'll need to now. Love to see Casper make the finals. Yep. Alternate reality, Carlos and Sinner meet in the finals. Yeah. Well, semis should be quite good as well if Carlos can make it through Steph. He'll be back for the Olympics, though. Okay, well, okay. Here's the other interesting thing. Going into the Olympics, his first time trying to win the Olympics. That will be, I mean, listen, people will remember that he was able to make it through those two best of 5 set matches. So He's going to be fresh. He's going to be ready. He ended this Roland Garros on quite the statement. He likely wasn't going to win it even if he kept playing. Let's be real, because because I don't know. He wasn't going to be fresh anymore for one. That's a back end out cross score from Jannik. Weird shot. Had an open court there and missed it. Left 15. Um, but yeah, wow. But yeah, kind of two statement matches coming into Wimbledon and the Roland Garros Olympics. Not how he would have wanted to end the event, but he still. I mean, listen, the last two matches were fantastic. He didn't end up with a loss here, I guess. So, when's the last time he withdrew out of a tournament like that? When's the last time he withdrew before in a slam like that? Actually, when is the? I really don't know. I'm trying to think now. He got. I mean, the default. That's not the same thing. He retired against Wawrinka at the U.S. Open. He withdrew out of the tournament. I don't remember him ever doing that. He's retired out of matches. I don't remember him ever withdrawing before a Grand Slam match. I remember similar. 2017 U.S. Open, he didn't play. 2017 U.S. Open, he did not play. Dimitrov, by the way, to the chance here. Maybe this match isn't over. Love 30. Serve down the tee, backhand of Dimitrov. That goes out. 15-30. Center's 3 points away. Novak withdrawing. Man's heartbroken. Yeah, yeah, sorry, Snehil, for that, because I know you're a big Novak fan. So we'll have a new Roland Garros champion on the men's side. We will, just like in Australia. Just like in Australia. By the way, much better chances for Sinner calendar slam, if that is even a thing. Dimitrov has become much less of a dark horse now. Yeah. Hey, what's up, David? Yeah, Novak is out. So that's the big news coming out of here. And Sinner is the world number one. Not the way Sinner would have wanted to, but I mean, yeah. I'm very excited for Sinner and definitely feeling bad for Novak after two extraordinary wins. So, by the way, Dimitrov with a chance to climb back here out of nowhere from looking down the barrel. Yeah, are looking at a new world number one come Monday. And what I say earlier in this match, this could be the last week. It could be the last week that a Big Four member is at the top of the rankings this week. I probably said that about 20 minutes before it was confirmed that Djokovic is not going to be number one anymore. Forehand, cross court, forehand of Grigor, back cross court, forehand of Sinner, sliding into it, down the line, back and slice of Grigor, back him Dimitrov, back and slice of Grigor, back him Dimitrov, sorry, forehand Dimitrov, back into Sinner, forehand. Oh, that's too good. Dimitrov picking it up when we need him. Bulgarian. The match has not lived up to the hype, but Grigor with a rocketing forehand through the court. 5-5. Feel bad for Sinner. They try to make that Fox thing his personal brand. Everyone was calling him a carrot instead. This is the first I heard. That's brutal. Yeah. Musetti played so well, pushed Djokovic all the way, and gave Cerundolo a chance to push Djokovic again. Yes. Yeah. 2 5-setters. I mean, 3 a.m. finish. Musetti Go just couldn't close out as always at RG, sadly. Yeah, true. He played phenomenal. Musetti Go, yeah. Be fair to Gnola is a badass way to go out. A slam injury from back-to-back 5-set banger is honorable. Honestly, yeah. Hell of a way to go out if you're going to go out. But he said he's going to be disappointed with anything less than a title here. Hopefully he's fresh come the Olympics and Wimbledon. Because I really do think this year is much better with Djokovic in the mix at the top. And I hope that he can really be a contender at the Olympics. Because if Djokovic is a top healthy contender at the Olympics, that might be the crucial kind of key for the Olympics to be just next level this year. So I really do hope we see that. Comes fresh for the Olympics. First serve in the net from Dimitrov. Sinner is the new world number one, man. I mean, I can't stop thinking about that because that's awesome. Good for him, man. Alcaraz and Sinner now both world number ones. Forehand cross court, forehand a Sinner. Forehand Dimitrov down the line, back into Sinner. Forehand volley. That's good from Grigor. Very good from Dimitrov. Gets the 15 all. What's up, Andrea? Hello, Anthony. I don't know if you noticed, but Sinner got the tennis little arm, so he is in crisis right now. Little I don't know. Wait, little arm? You're gonna have to catch me up. Not sure what the little arm is. Dimitrov heard the Joko news. Yeah, he maybe started getting energized. Musetti and Stern will be crying at home. Yeah, exactly. For me, never got that excited about world number one in rankings. The guy that wins the most majors in a year is world number one. Um, Not always. 2022, Rafa won 2 majors. Alcaraz ended up year end number one. Often the case, not always. 15:30 as Dimitrov misses the volley. See if Dimitrov can close out the deal. Sinner can close out the deal against Dimitrov. Ghost, you told me the news about Djokovic getting out. That was the first I heard of it. I wasn't looking at Twitter at all. I don't really look at socials while I do these streams. So, I mean, but man, what a journey to get there, though. The guy deserves it with everything he's done the last little while. Not just really since the Australian Open last year, Jannik. I mean, 3 consecutive Master semis. I mean, I know Djokovic withdrew, and it makes it feel a little bit bittersweet with Jannik claiming the rankings. But just to recap what Jannik has done, 3 consecutive Master semis to start out the year last year, a Miami final, and then a Wimbledon semifinal for the first time in his career. Kept tinkering with the serve. Canada went all the way with some great performances there. Best serving of his career. And then post Beijing, the guy's barely lost matches, playing just some of the most phenomenal matches. Beijing, Vienna with that crazy match against Medvedev. ATP Finals final, beat Djokovic. Davis Cup, saved 3 match points, just pretty much dismantled Djokovic at the Australian Open semifinals. This isn't even naming everything, but I mean, Miami this year, Rotterdam, Monte Carlo this year played fantastic. I haven't even named everything, but Sinner at this point, I mean, he's earned the world number one. He is the best player in the world this year, so he's earned that world number one, and he's worked hard for it too. It's been a struggle, but he's got there. That's in the net from Dimitrov, so deuce at 5-5. Come on, Grigor, yep. See if Grigor can do it. Just hope Jannik goes on to win RG. To be honest, I want to root Sinner final so bad. Yeah, listen, David, that's what I was talking about earlier. We were talking about best potential finals. That's the one that I mentioned, Ruud Jannik. I was like the only one who mentioned it, but I would love to see that. On clay, 2 fantastic. I mean, Ruud is a fantastic clay quarter, and Jannik is a fantastic clay quarter, mainly just because he's such a great freaking player. So it'd be an awesome match. Sinner hits out into the tram lines on defense. I feel like Sinner on defense, the shots aren't quite hitting as well through the court at the moment. So Dimitrov is kind of feeling that, and he's attacking more and more. Dimitrov hitting through his shots. He's hitting looser. I don't really know why it took Grigor this long, but advantage for Grigor Dimitrov. 2 hours and 14 minutes into the match. He's got a game point. Game point for Dimitrov. Serve. Good. Out wide. Forehand Dimitrov. The forehand is Sinner. Forehand Dimitrov. Back to the forehand of Sinner. Down the line. Backhand slice of Grigor. Forehand of Sinner. Very central. Forehand cross court. Forehand Sinner goes for forehand running pass, but for a big forehand cross court, but it goes out. 6-5 for Dimitrov. Really gritting his teeth. Love that. He's down 2 sets to love. Still fighting hard. You love to see it. Let's see what happens at these final stages. I agree with Matthew. Basically, the rankings are a mathematical phenomenon. A bunch of crucial context is missed when you're just crunching numbers. Yeah, I mean, I guess the way the rankings are, you don't see wins over top players, how many wins you've had over top players and stuff like that. So it's not perfect, is it? I think the most interesting one is the year-end number one, which is what people looked at back in the day, is who ended the year number one. But yeah, I mean, I also would understand if the rankings. To me, I do care about the rankings a lot, and I think they're pretty good, but yeah, Djokovic got to be careful transitioning to grass practice with that knee. Yeah, exactly. That's another reason he might not even play Wimbledon. Maybe he just goes stays in France and goes right back to the Olympics. Full caution. We've seen what happens with people like Raonic, yeah, or like Roger. Roger as well with the knee. So yeah, and Raonic. I mean, Raonic is just gonna. Don't talk to me about Raonic, David, because Raonic used to be one of my favorite players, and the guy is going to end up being the most underrated player in the history of tennis. Not even because he's like better than like Del Potro or somebody, but just because he's literally nobody is going to bring him up, and he was such a good player, and the dude was always injured, so he never got a chance to really show it, So the guy's just going to end up being so underrated just because he's not even brought up. It's like Marin Cilic. Like Cilic just isn't even in the conversation. The guy is so good. Backhand, that's in the net from Dimitrov. So 15-love. Because your comments are crazy. Wants Dan Evans to win Wimbledon? Maybe. Wimbledon is going to be crazy. I called it before the year started. I mean, I could be wrong, obviously, but what I said was somebody outside of Djokovic, Alcaraz, Sinner, and Medvedev is going to win Wimbledon. Let's see if it becomes true. That goes out off the forehand of Sinner. I feel like Sinner's level has dropped as well. It has. He's hitting a few kind of weirder shots, a few more errors. He's not hitting as deep on defense. And it's Dimitrov who's here at 15-all. Sinner waiting for the wind, very windy. You can see it rustling through his shirt as it's 15-all here. First serve goes wide, second serve for Sinner. Backhand of Dimitrov, the backhand of Sinner, backhand slice Dimitrov. Oh, just hits over the net. Forehand of Dimitrov, the backhand of Sinner. Forehand of Dimitrov way out in that ad side. Forehand Sinner. Jumps up. Dimitrov now attacking. It's a drop shot from Dimitrov. Sinner's there. Redrop. Dimitrov there. Oh, goes right back to Sinner. Sinner tries between the legs, but completely fails at it. And don't know what's happening with Grigor here. What is happening with Grigor? I don't know what's happening with Grigor. Is he okay? Grigor started hunching over and like feeling his eyes, or did he get something in his eyes? I think Grigor got something in his eye or something. It was very strange. It's a weird shot from Dimitrov, as he hit it very centrally. He had the whole line open. Dimitrov, I think, trying to get something out of his eye. I'm not sure. That's what it looks like. He's 2 points away from the set. It looked like Sinner was cruising. Now it's Dimitrov. I did not expect this. And it's 15-30. Second serve here for Jannik. Backhand slice of Dimitrov. Goes out. Oh, no. All right, here's another chance, though, at 30-all. I mean, that's why you get a 15-30 cushion. He has another chance here at 30-all. He can't afford to get that many of those. Total points won. Sinner is well ahead, 100-81. I mean, Sinner is way ahead in the total points won. That also shows, by the way, that Dimitrov hasn't had a whole lot of chances even in the first couple sets. So here's half a chance for Dimitrov. Serve down the tee, backhand slice. That stays in. Forehand Sinner, forehand Dimitrov. Here is the opportunity. Backhand slice Dimitrov. Forehand a Sinner. Backhand Dimitrov still slicing. Goes out. Why are you slicing? At least hit over it and give yourself a chance. If you're slicing, you're not going to win against Jannik. The guy is hitting huge forehands, hitting huge flat forehands, and controlling the court. If you're just slicing, what is that going to do? You're just setting Sinner up for a victory. You might as well go for it and miss it, because you're not doing anything just by slicing it. First serve goes long. Second serve. Kick serve, backhand. Dimitrov hits over it. Forehand, Dimitrov hits a forehand. Inside in, good shot. Down that ad side line. Forehand comes in. Sinner gets it. What a ridiculous shot. Sinner's there at the lob. No way. Misses. That was the fact that Sinner hit that first shot should have been illegal. I think we should be able to take that shot out of the rule book, whatever Sinner managed to do there, because there's no way Dimitrov should have been that close to losing the point after hitting that shot. But anyway, Sinner's probably not the smartest play with the lob. He should have hit a flick cross court with the backhand, but it was a tough shot anyway. Dimitrov managed the low ball well. Dimitrov gets the deuce with a solid point. We want to see the Dimitrov crushing the ball against the Carrot Man. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Shot selection was off, a rare mistake. Yeah. We've seen a few shots from Sinner towards the end. Hope Ons will do great for the grass season. Yeah, I hope so as well. She did well on the clay. I have high hope. I don't just hope she does well on the grass. Not to put pressure on Ons. I would love. I mean, everybody knows what I want to say, so it doesn't really matter. If she could go all the way, then that would be great. Advantage to Sinner. Try to get to 6-6. She's gotten close, Ons. It's 6-6. Sinner managing a way to get out of this game, just potentially. He's got game point. He's got game point. Looks like we might get a third set tiebreaker. 4 years ago, the last time Sinner made the quarterfinals here, he pushed Rafa to tiebreakers, like the only guy in that whole tournament that pushed Rafa to tiebreaker. He's back in the quarterfinals. Both guys trying to make their first Roland Garros semifinal. We are 2 wins away from a Sinner Alcaraz contest. They're 9th at tour level. They're 10th if you include challengers. But if you include ATP level, they're 4-4. Sinner is a tiebreaker away from at least getting himself to the semis. And let me know who's going to win this tiebreaker. What's going to be the score? I'm going to say Jannik. He's been winning the big points for the most part. He's been doing pretty well on the serve. Been a much longer set than the first two. The first set was 37 minutes. Second set, 47 minutes. This set's been 58 minutes. I'm going to say Jannik. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. Not to be a Debbie Downer. I think it'll be Jannik 7-3. Tiebreaker records for the year. Dimitrov very good. 16-6. Sinner 3-2. So Sinner's actually better win percentage, I think. Actually, the fact that Dimitrov is 16-6 makes me change my mind. Also, he's been serving pretty well. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to say Sinner. I'm thinking 7-5 or 8-6. Sinner 7-5. That's my prediction. I think that's the first time I've ever changed my prediction, but that's such a good tiebreak record. Let me know in the chat what's your predictions. Sinner 7-4. Okay, I go Sinner 7-5. Carrot Man, I think it's going to be for a very, very long time. Carrot Man. Let's go, Carrot Man. Carrot Man is the new number 1. I like Ons too. She was up, but Coco went to hard defense mode. Coco's basically new Wozniacki. Not a fan of her development, even though she's winning. I mean, it's all about winning, though. She's in the semis. Made semis of Australia. Now she's in the semis of RG. I don't know why people are so hard on Coco. She's doing fine. She just won her first major, and now she's made 2 consecutive major semifinals on 2 different surfaces. She improved a lot towards the end of last year. I hope people give her time because she's doing great. Forehand down the middle, backhand Dimitrov for a pass. Forehand Sinner's there. No way. Dimitrov passed Sinner on top of the net. Point of the match. Point of the match. 2-1. Crowd loves it as well. Best point in the match so far. Sinner. It wasn't particularly tough volleys, but Sinner ready at the net. Let's see what Grigor can do. 2 hours and 24 minutes played. Backhand of Sinner, forehand of Dimitrov. That stays in. Forehand of Sinner. Forehand of Grigor. Inside out. Backhand of Jannik. That goes out. 2-2 for Grigor Dimitrov. And tiebreakers is where it hangs in the balance. Because listen, could be straight sets for Sinner very easily. But guess what? It could also be 2-1. Suddenly, everybody starts thinking about the 2-set to love comeback. Jannik, when has Jannik blown 2-set leads? I don't really want to think about it, but he blew a 2-set lead to Novak at Wimbledon. He blew a 2-set lead to Karen Khachanov at the U.S. Open 2020. Lost a 5th-set tiebreaker to Khachanov. That's a great forehand inside out. Dimitrov, what a pass from Sinner, though. Sinner unlocking that backhand. That backhand and these backhand-to-backhand exchanges absolutely crucial in this matchup. Fantastic from the Italian. I mean, that's just too good. But also, when you open up the court like that, you go forehand inside out, you have to hit a great shot. You have to hit that great shot when you're coming in from that ad side and coming into net like that, because you do leave the down the line open. And Sinner has one of the best backhand down the lines in the game. He's got such a great pass for that backhand down the line. Sinner up 3-2. Kick serve, backhand Dimitrov. Forehand to Sinner, cross court, gets it right in that corner. 4-2 for the Carrot Man. Dimitrov 7-5, going another set. Okay, I like when I hope so. Feel like Sinner probably needs straights to compete. Needs straights to compete with probably Alcaraz. I agree. That's a good point too. Coco's winning. I like and respect her, but her style is pusher. That's why I can't offer full-throated support. I much prefer Stearns or Collins for their power. But I'm just saying objectively as a player, she's very good. Like subjectively can have opinions, but just like she's so good as a player. At this point, like for her age, like she'll. I hope Coco can evolve, add more variety to her game. I think she will, but I think she's at a good point right now, and I think she's doing well. Not everybody has to be Iga Swiatek. That's just kind of my thought on it. Coco's doing great for her own journey. It's a great serve from Sinner. Gets to 5-2. He's 2 points away from this third set. Looks like it's going to be Sinner and straights, which David made a good point in the chat. If it does go 4 sets, it's looking a little bit worse for Sinner because he wants to be as physically apt as possible for that potential Alcaraz matchup, or for Tsitsipas either, by the way, for either one. So, but particularly Alcaraz, by either one. Serve here from Dimitrov. Out wide, that goes out from Sinner. 3-5. 3-5. Dimitrov still some life in the match. I can't believe that Djokovic withdrawal, man. Djokovic out of a Grand Slam is some of the biggest news you can have in the tennis world, because whenever he plays a Grand Slam, he's won like 12 of the last 19. So, and I just don't remember that ever happening. I don't remember ever hearing the news Djokovic has withdrawn. I remember I know Djokovic has retired out of matches. I know I've seen Djokovic get defaulted. I've seen Djokovic get deported. I can't remember him ever withdrawing before a match starts. Let me know if you can think of one, but I can't really remember that. That goes out from Dimitrov, and like always, I should have kept my first guess. I said 7-3, but it's all right. Sinner here to serve at 6-3. 3 match points for the Italian. He's played a great match. Dimitrov has not shown up really until the end of the match the way he would have wanted to, and even at the end, still a little bit left to be desired. But Sinner at 3 match points. He will get a place in the semifinals, looking for a place in the semifinals of Roland Garros for the first time in his career. On a clay court, at a clay court, Grand Slam, trying to get to the semis. Serve from Sinner. First serve hits the tape. By the way, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you are new and join into the channel. And please don't forget to like the stream as well if you have not already. And it's a backhand slice of Dimitrov, hits the sideline. Backhand slice Dimitrov down the line. That goes out. Jannik Sinner gets a victory on the day that he becomes world number 1 in the ATP rankings for the first time in his young career. At 22 years old, into the semis of Roland Garros. A big hug between the two players. He's into the semis of RG. A great performance from him. You better know that he's good on clay. He's had a good draw so far, to be fair. Dimitrov didn't show up to his best. Seems like he has some kind of mental block playing center or something. He's slicing a lot over the backhand, hitting so many unforced errors. Dimitrov's best tournament isn't Roland Garros either. It took him a long time to even get to the second week here. But, 2 hours, 29 minutes. Jannik Sinner is through. He's the new world number 1. Not in the fashion we would have wanted to see him claim it, but Jannik Sinner the guy who was retiring out of matches, the guy who people are saying does not have the variety to contest with Alcaraz, the guy who people said is tall, but he doesn't have a serve, the guy who said this guy's lanky and his legs look like sticks, and they do, but but the guy is so good, man, and the guy's worked hard and lost in 5 sets in like 7 straight Grand Slam tournaments. Now he's killing it, and it shows work hard and work hard and work hard. You'll get to world number 1, and it's about hard work, and it's not always about who wins and loses. It's about pacing yourself, right? Tennis is a losing game by definition, and that's what it is. You have to kind of smile through the losses, and if you keep doing that and keep working hard, eventually you will get the highs. And that's what tennis shows in life, and that's what it's all about in tennis. And Sinner has done that just like Djokovic did back in the day. Sinner is the new world number 1. No idea who's going to be the next new world number 1, but Jannik, it seemed clear for a little while he was going to be a world number 1 at some point. He's finally made it. He gets a win to the semis. Appreciate everybody joining in for this one. And thank you, Max. Very happy for Jannik. Yeah, me too, David. Thank you, Ghost. Thanks, Lexi. You're just too good, folks. Yep. Thank you, Zara. Go Sinner. Ale Jannik. Thanks, Joe. GG. Joe, shout out, Joe. Always good to have you in here. So, and everybody who's in here. Whatever his legs look like, the dude can play. Yes. 110%. Congrats to Sinner. New world number 1. Let's go. Dude, that's unbelievable, actually. All right. I'm out of here. But, yeah, it was Sinner 6-2, 6-4, 7-6. Stats are going to show a lot of unforced errors for Dimitrov. I'm not even going to show the stats. We know what happened. Sinner's through in 3 sets. We're 1 win away from an Alcaraz Sinner semifinal. Hopefully Djokovic can recover. We got that news during the stream, earlier in the stream. But in this match, Sinner's fantastic. Alcaraz Sitspot's going to be great. Faison will have the call for that one later. And yeah, definitely make sure to join in for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the next one.